That's not a quality of life.
Look, come on. Right, it's a lock-in. It's a lock-in. You're not going anywhere. Okay, we are here, as we all know, for the ritual humiliation. I mean, conquer work of a member of staff, really. So it's been 6 years since Sarah joined us, there are many things. I had to make some notes. There are many things I need to say about Sarah, and we'll get to a few of them in due course. But I think it's a very sad day for Premier. A happy day in many respects for you and your future in terms of what you're going on to do. But for us, we are all going to miss you. I think Sarah has established herself here as one of the most efficient people that we've ever had, and the amount of comments I've had in the years that we've worked together from people who compliment you to me about your work and how helpful you are and how quick you are and how you don't let them down is something which you should take from here. One of the things I've always appreciated about you is that you have an incredibly pastoral heart. You're always looking out for people who are not getting talked to or who aren't actually maybe feeling like they're in. So you say hello to the sandwich person every day because no one else does. And you know, that is you know, it's little things like that that are the mark of a great person. You've been a great team member, and you've been a very good writer. You put kisses at the end of every single email that you write. Even the complaints. And in fact, Sarah has this thing where if someone emails her and says, "Why don't you F off, you stupid Christians?" Sarah write back, "I hope you have a lovely day, Christians." To burn burning coals upon their heads. There have been endless hen parties which Sarah's had to leave half hour early for on Friday afternoon. Seemingly never-ending trips away. But also a never-ending stream of Coke Zero, which is one other thing that I wrote down, thinking of things I remember before. Many a time over the last 3 years I've turned around to Sarah and said, "Sarah, you haven't got a Diet Coke if you like, I can borrow it because I've run out." And I will miss that. I'm very pleased that you got over your fainting. Because if anyone remembers the first few years of Sarah being here, she was dropping down every 4 seconds, being nursed back to health. If you were here then you will remember the fun. Occasionally that. But I would say, despite all the efficiency, there have been many awkward moments for a web editor. And you know what, I was going to make a little game of like people would have to guess, worst things you've done. And you know what? That was just brutal. I can't do this because no one's going to laugh, and Sarah will be in tears, and then half of them are totally inappropriate and can't be shared in public. But there was a few that, and these were the lesser ones. There was a few which are probably worth remembering. That I did say you were a good writer. You do have a way with words, except for certain famous preachers' surnames. On there. So many of you remember Sarah substituting for social media Sean in the social media site News Hour was asked to say the name Louis Giglio, pronounced Louis Gigolo. That's people there. And actually this is one of the ones I could say, and one of the ones you mentioned actually reminded me yesterday, I forgot all about it, which was one where Sarah was at giving the prizes at the New Media Awards. And we had a blind dude who won, which was great, won the Accessibility Award, except Sarah couldn't find the right award for him, so just gave him any old award on the basis that he couldn't read. That was pretty special. And I emphasise, these are just the ones I tell you. Much has changed since Sarah's come here. You got married. And I got married to you. And I remember when you met Johnny like it was yesterday. And the reason I remember why you met Johnny is you had a great weekend, didn't you? You spent 72 hours a week chatting, getting to know Johnny, and then he turns up for work on a Monday. And I remember walking into the office and saying hello to Sarah, Sarah didn't respond. And we went for a team meeting, which Sarah managed to get through the whole time. Well, I don't really know how you managed to stay up through that meeting, but we got to the end of it and said, I think you might need to go home, Sarah. At which point, shouldn't speak. I was asking a question, and yeah, you've been awake, falling in love, and then you turned up here. So the deal was, I said, you go home now, and I'll tell Sandy you're not very well. So we chalked that one up. But yeah, it's been a great ride. You will be missed, and it is a shame that you're leaving us, but we do wish you all the best in what you're going to do. Do you want to say a couple of things about where you're going? I mean, most people know.
The girls will know because it's Lizelle, so most of the girls would have heard Lizelle.
Yeah,
and then are always like, who?
Yeah.
She used to run a successful skincare company and sold that to Boots, and now has a wellbeing magazine. So I'll be writing and editing and working on the website for fitness, lifestyle, food.
Well, I think probably as it cuts me, a few people, if we could pray.